But you could see that Sean Edwards and the coaching staff, they rammed into them how important the start was, how important discipline was. And certainly, I watched the game this morning on the ref mic. It's interesting, Wayne Barnes' relationship with the Welsh players compared to the Irish players. There was certainly a touchiness there. And because he refereed our game against France, I certainly get the feeling that maybe he analysed his performance there and he looked at Ireland and said, okay, they're pushing the limits at the breakdown. And, when you look at Ireland players were rolling away, but they weren't doing one more turn. When actually Dan Bigger was on his back looking, ref, am I okay, am I okay? And he had this natural banter with him. And we were putting a lot of pressure on the referee. We were trying to referee the game for Wayne Barnes, and I certainly felt that, again, discipline's been huge for us, but our ability to manage him, is an area that we'd have to look at as
it doesn't strike me as a fellow who'd like to be managed.
Yeah, which was incredible in that 32-phase defensive period, that they didn't give away any penalty. Johnny Sexton was the one who was penalised at the end of it. And to be fair to Barnes, I thought his communication during, the early penalties against Ireland, he made it absolutely clear to Paul O'Connell that the player on the deck wasn't clearing out quickly enough. He was interfering with the scrum half. And he said the exact same to Warburton. And he didn't hesitate to yellow card him for the same offence, even though I thought it was quite harsh at the time.
It was, but he was much more finicky at the beginning of the game to set out his stall.
But he was nervous, Eddie.
He was, and I think that's how he reacts.
That's his MO, though, isn't it?
It is
like
his MO.
He
understands the law very well, but he tends to referee by the letter or rather the spirit sometimes, and he can be touchy, and he can do that when he's under pressure to make sure he doesn't lose control of the game. As the game wore on, he backed off a little bit because he felt he was under control, and that's why Wales had that latitude in that long period of defence where they really never looked like they were going to give up a penalty. Had that been the first 10 minutes, you might have gotten a penalty or two there that you didn't get later on.
We're not saying it made a difference.
No, not at all. But we had to adapt to that at half time. We certainly went after their opposition ruck ball less, and then we had to defend more phases and our chance. We're very good at contesting the ruck ball, but we had to actually just say, okay, it's not on today.
Okay, and so with it.